Today I'm gonna do a really in-depth tutorial on how to put eyeshadow on. So I did a pretty simple eyeshadow look. I did put wing eyeliner on just because I was feeling it today, but I want to make sure that you guys know some of the basics. I know that a lot of my viewers and my friends are more on the novice level of makeup, and that's wonderful, so I wanted to make sure that you guys kind of knew the basics. So I hope you enjoyed this video.
I feel like I lost my way. Feel like I'm standing here on my last leg.
All of my face makeup on, I'm gonna start putting eye makeup on. I'm gonna talk a little bit about it first, and then I'll start doing it. So I was asked to do a, not easier, but a more in-depth tutorial about how to put eyeshadow on and where to put eyeshadow on and all that good stuff. I was also asked to do it with a 4 color palette, the type that you would get from like the grocery store. And trust me, I used to love those. They were like my fave in high school, but I don't own any anymore. So I'm gonna compromise and I'm gonna do it with the Naked palette, because if you have any pro palette or any palette from a Sephora or anything like that, it's most likely a Naked, or it most likely has the colors in it that are like the Naked palette. So I'm gonna try to do it with only 4 of these colors, but I'm not making any promises whatsoever. I'm gonna start off by using a little bit of the Naked concealer, almost as an eyeshadow base. It's really important to prime your eyelids before you put eyeshadow on. That being said, do I do it 100% of the time? No. Do I do it 50% of the time? Probably not, because it's annoying. And then you have to set that. So that's the part that I'm gonna try to get away with, saying that it's not a color that I'm using, because it's not technically. So a lot of you don't maybe have a setting powder at home, or maybe don't have a flesh colored eyeshadow, or what have you. So there's other things. If you have a powdered foundation, you could maybe use that to set it. So we want to set what we just put on our eyes. I'm going to set it with this Naked color. No, I'm not. Good example about how I plan stuff, and then it doesn't work. So I'm just going to use what I would call a bone colored shadow. That sounds great, doesn't it? This is Vanilla by TIGI. I don't know. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with this color. It's called Buck. It's actually one of my favorite colors in this palette, and you can see it is the most used color in this palette. Actually, no. I spoke too soon. I'm doing a great job today, aren't I? I'm gonna actually go in with his Naked color, which is the one that I thought about maybe putting on my eyeball as a to set the primer, and then realized that that wouldn't work. And I'm gonna still use this fluffy Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. The reason I'm using this fluffy brush for this initial color is because I want it really blown out, meaning like I want the color to kind of go everywhere, because it'll help transition your shadow. So like a transition is something that we hear all the time. When you see someone that has really, really nice eyeshadow on that looks like they've just been blending for their entire life, what they've really done is used a bunch of different colored shadows and done a gradient effect, slowly but surely, on their face. So I'm gonna use that Naked color. It's pretty close to my skin color, but not exactly. And I'm gonna put that. I can feel my brow bone up here, right? So I'm gonna put that kind of right where that brow bone is starting to meet my eye socket, my crease. So I guess right where my eye socket's kind of starting. And you can see that I'm going pretty far up with it. And you can see like there's not There's not much of a difference between this eye and this eye yet, but it's gonna help with that dimension, it's gonna help with that depth, it's gonna help you blend all of those colors in more flawlessly than if you tried to put just a dark color and slap it on your eyes. That's gonna make it difficult. So I should also mention that I really have no rhyme or reason with which, I keep saying that I'm gonna use 4 colors and I'm gonna do this, but I can't decide if I'm gonna do like a darker eye or a lighter eye or sparkly. It's really killing me. So we'll just live in suspense together, I guess. So we're gonna go in with this buck color that I was gonna go in with initially. Color set down, it will kind of give this a little bit of an easier time blending. So I'm gonna put this a little bit farther into my actual crease. You wanna be careful with staying away, like staying just in your crease. Because if you're staying just inside of that crease, it's not gonna do good things. You do want it to come up a little bit where you put that other shadow. And you can see that I angle my brush differently depending on where I want the shadow to go. So if you angle your brush down like this, it's gonna blend it more up here and do a sharper line down here, which is kind of what we want. So I angle my brush up just a little bit and then I blend it out. Now this is decision time. I'm trying to decide what I want to do, and I have these options. I wish you could tell me what you think. I really do. So here's the thing with the Naked palette that I both love and sometimes don't like very much. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shades have glitter in them out of 12 shades. So don't always want to put glitter all over your face, and I like to do more matte work in my crease to make my crease look a little bit more smooth. If you put glitter or a metallic eyeshadow in there, it doesn't always look as smooth as you want it. So what I'm actually gonna go back and do is use a little bit more of that buck and really blow out this. So blow out mean I'm really lightly pressing with light product, and I'm really just spreading that buck color everywhere because I've decided that I'm gonna do a tiny bit lighter eye than I was planning on. Mainly because this gunmetal color is ridiculous. It's amazing and I love it. But I'm gonna go in with Half Baked because I feel like that's the color that most people really obsess about in this palette. I'm gonna actually wet my brush a tiny bit. This is the brush that came with the palette. I'm gonna wet my brush a tiny bit with some setting spray because it really helps to pull that color out and it makes it nice and vibrant. So I'm just gonna put that right on my eyelid. So there's a bunch of different ways and a bunch of different trends to do eyeshadow. If you wanted to, you could focus a lot of the dark shadow on both of the outer corners, and that's a halo. So you would put dark shadow here, and it's called a halo. Isn't that nice? You just gotta try everything out to see what you like. So I'm putting that all over my eyelid. And then I'm gonna go in with my 4th color, which is gonna be Smog. It's right next to, it's almost just a darker color of that Half Baked. I really like it because it adds a nice amount of dimension without getting too dark. And I don't want to do black right now. So I'm putting it on the outer corner and kind of blending it in to where we had that crease color, that buck color. This is probably going to end up being a really, I was going to be like, this is going to be a really lame tutorial. I don't think it is. I think it's going to be maybe educational, but it's not gonna be like the most wowing makeup you've ever seen in your life. But hopefully you've learned something today. That's my true mission. Anyway, so I'm just gonna continue to kind of blend that into the crease and on the outer. So, the majority of people would stop here thinking that they're done because they have their eyeshadow on their eyelids and what else are you gonna do with your life? But that's a really bad plan, because if you don't balance this out with a lower lash line, something, this is gonna look heavy and weird, and you're gonna look like you're in middle school, which maybe some of you feel like that when you're putting on makeup. So we've got to make sure to smoke out that lower lash line. So that lower lash line, we can get it as smoky as we want, really, which is the beauty of it. But I'm gonna go in with Buck again on the Anastasia Beverly Hills two-sided brush. On the non-fluffy side, it's almost a flat brush, if you get, but it's not. So it works really well to blend out underneath your eyeball, I think. Like, I really like it. I'm gonna keep blending. So the good thing about using these colors, there's lots of payoff, but they're never like, I don't think they're too harsh or too dark. So I'm really bringing that down. Almost uncomfortably far where you feel like you shouldn't. So you can see the difference and how it really opens your eye up. And maybe you feel like you're not good at it, which I think all of you probably could be amazing at it. You don't have to do it. And once I'm done with that, I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of that smog because it's nice and shimmery. Shimmery maybe was the word I was looking for earlier when I kept saying glittery, because it's not like these are chunky. And I'm just gonna put that in too. Add some depth, add some shimmer. So you can kind of take the same concept and do more with it if you want. So you could start here and kind of work your way down the line on these darker colors and use those to really darken up areas that you want. Or you can kind of just do something like this. Because I love makeup and because I want to, I'm gonna put on more makeup. So I'm gonna do my eyeliner, which I'm probably gonna do a wing because I feel like it. I'm gonna do a wing liner, contour my face, put some blush on, all that good stuff. But we're gonna go back to the sped up version of me because she's fun. I mean, like, this version's fun, I think, but she's also a little bit lame with her jokes. So we're gonna go back to that.
Like I'm losing you, you're losing your faith in me, yeah. And I just can't get out of my way. My mind's a prison that I can't escape. But you're the answer and you are the key, yeah. So now I'm sitting here waiting on my brain to back from my heart saying
finished up with putting some lipstick on, but my camera wasn't on. And I remembered that I forgot a very important part of putting your eyeshadow on, and that is to highlight your inner corner and your brow bone. So I'm going to use the lightest color in this palette, which is called Virgin. It also has like a little bit of shimmer to it, not a ton, but that'll really help brighten up your eye. So I'm going to put a little bit up here on my brow bone, and this is the finished look. Hope you guys like it, and I hope I see you back here soon.